During this Black History Month, KVUE News looking back at a time not so long ago when black patrons were not allowed inside many white-only businesses right here in Austin. Tonight, KVUE's Bob Buckaloo shares the story of how a handful of UT students used a prank to get theater owners to open their doors to black customers.
Austin in 1960, still a college town, but growing. There was a new highway cropping up in the middle of town, later to be named I-35. It was a city divided, with whites living west of the new interstate, blacks and Hispanics to the east. That year, a small group of UT students began protests at two movie theaters on the drag to get them to admit blacks.
And we had to have at least one black student come out with us, because we were mostly white. And we would walk in line up to the ticket window and ask if we could buy 2 tickets, or a ticket for myself and for my friend here, who's the black kid who would be next to us or waiting.
They would, of course, deny the ticket. So we'd go back around to the back of it and rotate the line like that.
With the protesters getting back in the ticket line again and again, others waiting to buy tickets would get frustrated and leave. The theaters lost money. Though they were nonviolent, UT protesters were threatened, spat at, and occasionally roughed up. And one student planning meeting at the University Y in 1960 nearly cost lives. That's because 2 UT students who opposed desegregation had built a bomb.
2 young men tried to throw a pipe bomb through the window, and that would have been probably one of the biggest civil rights killings in the country. But the throw was a tough one, and it hit one of the planes, one of the supports, and went down this deep stairwell, which contained the explosion.
These interviews come from a documentary created by People's History in Texas that tells the story of how the protests eventually led to change. By the next year, the stand-ins had forced the 2 theaters near UT, the Texan and the Varsity, to open their doors to blacks, though other movie houses in town remained whites only until 1964, when civil rights for all became the law of the land. Bob Buckaloo, KVUE News.